everybody, and welcome back to MonkieCast. I'm your host, AJ.
I'm Meso.
I'm Tenebrain Victus.
And I'm Sakota.
And today we are going to be talking about the latest batch of episodes 5 through 8 of the Monkey Kid TV show.
Monkey! Sorry.
Monkey! How is everyone doing?
I'm excited to talk about Monkey Kid.
Monkey!
I'm going insane! I'm losing my mind! By sheer happenstance and chance, I didn't watch the episodes until 3 hours ago.
Yeah, pretty much the same, except even sooner.
So I had to watch them on my break at work on my phone.
Oh gosh.
And I was losing my mind with how hyped I was, and I was trying to frantically type on my phone keyboard my thoughts, and it just didn't work out. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go nuts. How are you guys?
Go ape.
No one's gonna top that. Okay, I mean maybe
Bananarama. We're entering that period where I'm growing increasingly sad, realizing that the season is almost over.
Yeah, we are. By the time this one's over, we're pretty much gonna be at the end. The next episode of MonkieCast is gonna be the last one for the season. That was so fast.
It's too fast.
It's the downside to 10-minute episodes and only having 10 episodes a season. Just
yeah.
Wow, imagine a regular length show with episode wise, or sorry, runtime wise. You'd have a 5-episode season and that's it. That's pretty depressing that Monkey Kid only gets 5 episodes total if it was a normal length show.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing, to be honest. Part of me does wonder how they would do things if they had more time.
Yeah, I mean, they use their time really well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like how things are shaping up right now. And how things have been. I feel like it's nice, it's fun, it's quickly moving, but I can't help but wonder,
Yes.
It is.
I feel like for the last 2 seasons, the only time it really showed that they were lacking time was the finale. So I hope it will be better this time, that they take a bit more time for the big finale, I guess.
Yeah.
One can dream. But I'm excited, basically. We're going to have some good discussions today. Before we get too far in, I'm going to do the plugs. Because we got to let people know where they can find our stuff and how to support us. So first and foremost, if you would like news and updates about when videos are actually coming, feel free to check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/the TTV channel. We have a host of personal Twitters as well, but that Twitter is where we actually post out a daily, not daily, but every time we do a video, there's a notification that goes up there about when it's going to go live. So that's the place to go. If you'd like to support us and just generally stay in the know, you can do that over on Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel, where for as low as $1 a month, you can join our Patreon Discord server, listen in on live episodes, chat it up with us about various cool LEGO themes, and join the TTV Patreon Minecraft server, which is currently on the islands of Maranui and Voyanui from Bionicle, with maybe more to come, possibly someday, maybe potentially, probably not, maybe, we'll see.
The city from Monkey Kid.
There you go. I mean, that'd be cool. If Monkey Kid had more focused geography, it'd be cool to do that in Minecraft.
Flower Fruit Mountain.
We'll build the moon.
Now that's an idea. Anyway, and then if you'd like to discuss LEGO in general or our content in a more traditional way, you can do so over on the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com, which does have subforums for LEGO System. I don't know how often they're used, but they do exist. And that is basically that. Oh, and if you'd like to support us in any kind of way other than just watching or Patreon, we greatly appreciate YouTube super chats. They're very helpful. towards us like continuing operations basically, and it just means a lot whenever we get them. So thank you in advance. That's basically it.
Wow.
AJ,
Yeah.
which episodes are we going to be talking about today?
We are talking about episodes 5 through 8.
Okay.
Yes. Well, this week we're doing a little bit different because Messo's gonna do the episode recaps this week.
I'm gonna fail at it.
You're gonna do great. I believe in you.
Big loser.
Believe in the me that believes
Wow.
in you. Just say that again.
Man, why you gotta be mean?
I'm on one today. I'm just degrading everybody.
Man, I appreciate your friendship and all the good times that
I'm
we share
very
together.
supportive.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So we've got 4 today. The first episode is going to be episode 5, Amnesia Rules. And this episode picks up basically directly from where the last one left off after Macaque pulled his epic, like, I'm going to split the car into, like, 2 planes of reality shtick. So we are currently following Pigsy, Tang, and Monkey King, the epic trio that I never would have expected to see, but here we are. Monkey King is like trapped in his like meditative state, and they need to like wake him up. So Pigsy has the best idea ever. Apropos of nothing, he straight up pulls out this extremely hot pepper. And like it literally is a skull. It is a pepper that is a skull and is super hot and is like glowing gold. And I think the pepper is white, if memory serves. And like it has like black markings on it. It's basically me. Me consolidated into a hot pepper. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna shove it inside Monkey King's mouth and cause him to like go into shock basically and wake up. And it works.
Oh, it works.
A little too well. And he gets amnesia. And he returns to basically like a younger version of himself. Back when he was a bit more serious. You know, he's very like dedicated to protecting his like crew that he's with. He thinks they're the people from like Journey to the West that he used to travel with. And he refers to them by their old names, which escape me at the moment. AJ, do you know their old names? It's okay if you don't. I'm just curious because I don't.
Tang, because it's just like Tang sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Celestial Swine was another thing.
Celestial
that's
Swine.
One of the ways he calls them.
That's epic. Well, I love that. It was a nice touch. We got some nice lore. They did some cool like cutaways back to like their original designs and like their old travels. Basically, it's super nice. But they're being stalked by a spooky, scary scorpion demon who like masquerades as this like princess, I think, and she like captures Tang. They go through this whole thing where like she prepares an elaborate banquet to get him to stay, and to like bait him because I don't know reasons she's evil. And then all the while Pigsy and Monkey King are like trying to find him and having like quality bants. And then, you know, antics ensue, shenanigans occur, things happen, and it's eventually revealed that, oh, she's evil. Who could have guessed? And the whole thing was a facade, and the food, I think, was literally made of scorpions, if I recall. Or maybe it was just an illusion. Yeah. Okay, no, it was cool. Delicious, like, scorpion burger, scorpion salad, scorpion soup. I love it. And then, it's a double bait and switch, because, like, she's evil, but she's also not evil. In reality, she's just lonely. And she's really sad, living by herself. She basically just wants friends. She wants people to, like, hang out with. And, you know, our heroes being the heroes that they are, they promptly say no, and they leave. But not before, like, tricking someone else into like taking their place. Basically, I forget who it was.
The 2D.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So they trick them into staying, and like I think Scorpion Lady is like sad. She doesn't look happy, at least, because she wanted a real companion who she could actually talk to. And it ends with her like basically being completely screwed over by our heroes. and they leave, but not before like Pigsy has a good moment where like he says some nice things about MK, and he lets slip that oh, there's a fourth ring.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun. And Pigsy keeps that little bit of info to himself, and he wonders what that means, because that means Monkey King's pulling a big old lie, big old sus lie. Perhaps Sun Wukong was the imposter all along, and that's where the episode ends.
You're saying there's an imposter among us?
Among Us. Sorry. What did you guys think about the episode?
It was an episode now. I really liked the backstory part where, because so far in the show, it's been a debate: are Sandy and Pigsy Monkey King's like companions from back in the day? And I would say it suggests no.
I definitely say no for Pigsy.
Not this current version of them, at least. Like, I don't think they're descendants, but it does. My takeaway was that it's a bit of like reincarnation. Like they've kind of gone through a loop, and so they could technically be them, but they're like not the exact same person as they were back then.
Yeah.
I think we saw in the cooking competition episode in like season 2 with Pigsy that like he is in a long line of his family basically, so he might be a descendant or something, but he's definitely not the one from Journey to the West.
Yeah, but like at the same time, he wasn't like completely outraged by the way that Monkey King was addressing him. Either. Like I still forget like his full name, like Baji something. But like the way that Monkey King was addressing him didn't seem like he was completely thrown off by it.
It's confusing. Especially because like it just makes me wonder about, you know, the Sandy episode from like season 2 and what's Sandy's deal, you know, because we know that he's been through a lot of stuff, and we saw like kind of little snippets of it in like his episode from last season, and I just want to know more about that, if anything.
Yeah.
After like this, because if they're not the you know, the original characters, then like what is,
did he just have a coincidentally other random tragic backstory? I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
it could be entirely new. Like, I'm not too familiar with the basis for Sandy and what his past actually is. I presume it was a direct reference to like friends dying on the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, like, and Pigsy's aware of that too. Like, because I mean, him and Sandy go way back, and you know, at the start of the series, he was expecting Sandy to still be a fierce warrior.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I kind of think that it might be just like not. I mean, I do want to say reincarnation, but I also feel like I'm wrong at the same time. So I don't know. I think they are them, but like something's changed about them in the meantime. That's like sort of wiped their memory.
Yeah.
Sort of, but
not... could just be that like Sandy's the same one and Pigsy isn't, right?
Possibly, I guess.
I don't know, because there's like a shot in the flashbacks that in those like moments that Sandy has, and Pigsy is there.
Okay.
It's
very perplexing. We have like there's even more later on that gives like food for thought about it, and like the Chung episode.
It's definitely very intentionally vague, but I'm glad that they like touched on it a little more with this episode.
Maybe the just like with the Sandy episode, that's like setting up for like future things they could do when this is over, you know, this like
I don't know
section.
I'd like for that to be the case.
I want to know more about these characters. That's the thing. I think it's great to see all this stuff happening now and like to get these hints, but I also just kind of want to know more about them, because I feel like if I did, then I'd feel kind of more like drawn to them in different ways. Because as it stands right now, I feel like those particular characters, it's always like I like them because they have like funny dialogue, but other than that, I'm not really sure what else, you know.
There isn't a lot, unfortunately, to them, other than we are the pseudo parental like authority figures, looking after like MK, and we love MK, and I'd like more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked the episode. It was among the more forgettable in terms of plot because it was quite threadbare, but I might revise that depending on how big the fourth ring secret ends up being. Because as of now, we have not gotten that paid off.
But we have gotten it extra teased soon.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll discuss it soon, but
that is true. Do we have any more thoughts on episode 5?
I liked the sorry, you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like that Wukong, when he's like, you know, when he's got amnesia and he's saying who everyone is, he thinks that Mo is Sandy. I like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I really like the voice acting of the spider lady, scorpion lady, because I think her voice just very well fit the character very well.
It was very much like Spider Queen's voice actress with like that southern sounding kind of accent, so or twang or whatever you want to call it. So I almost thought it was her again when she first appeared, just with like the way that she spoke. It sounded really similar to Spider Queen. I did really like her flashback segment when she was talking about bringing Tang over to her place, and just like the way they used the cardboard cutouts and watching like Tang's expression of like disbelief, like that's not what happened.
I know the voice actress for her is the same as Amethyst from Steven Universe. The same voice. Yeah,
that's cool.
Recognized it.
I say not having seen Steven Universe, but
yeah, like, that's epic.
It's cool. There's a prolific actress in the role. Monkey Kid voice acting just like pops off in general. The entire cast is incredible.
Very stacked.
It's a really good cast for everyone. Just
true.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I might move on to episode 6, The First Ring. Yeah. So it opens and we have the crew reconvene. MK, May, and Sandy are basically just like wandering through the desert. They're like, oh wait, they don't reconvene at the start. My bad. They reconvene at like later on.
The end.
My bad. But they're on the path towards reconvening, and they're in the desert. They're dying of thirst. They pass out, and then, in a blaze of triumphant glory, the best character makes his return. Red Sun rolls up with an epic, like, eye glint, and he saves them. He brings them back, and he treats them to, like, a full-course meal and excellent hospitality while being pissed off at them, like, constantly throughout. Just like generally infuriated. He's like, hey, this is my home. It's full of booby traps. MK almost gets killed, an average Friday. They're having quality bants. He's like, what are you doing? Why were you here? And then they basically name drop that they're looking for the Samadhi Fire. He freaks out. Then, dun, 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 the fam comes home. DBK and Princess Iron Fan dramatically show up, and they have amazing interactions with the crew. Basically, every line here is gold, just in the way they interact. And then they also freak out when they mention the Samadhi Fire. And MK's just like, look, we need the fire to stop the Lady Bone Demon. And Iron Fan is like, what exactly have you been told about this? And they're like, not much, other than like it's been split. And it was at that moment it kind of occurred to me as well. I was like, we don't really know anything about this, do we? But they fixed that in short order with an epic flashback where they reveal that the Samadhi Fire was actually created by Red Sun, which I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it tracks
Yeah.
Fireball itself. I probably should have thought about it.
And his hair looks exactly like the symbol.
Yeah.
Oh,
we should have thought of that.
In hindsight,
that's pretty subtle.
Also, the actual Samadhi Fire symbols on the back of his jacket.
Oh, yeah.
How were we so blind?
I don't know. It just goes to show, I guess, my critical thinking synapses are not firing off on all cylinders. But we get funny. We get an epic illustrated flashback in one of the coolest art styles, just showing how when Red Sun was born, he was basically incredibly powerful. They could not control the fire. He was literally going to destroy everything. So they had to purge the fire from his body, split it into 3 pieces, seal its power, and then hide them in different locations. And that was the only way he could stay alive, basically, and also not destroy the world. So kind of important, mutually, beneficial arrangement. Save their son, save the world. Red Sun apparently had no clue about any of this because he seemed quite surprised.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, fine, you guys can hang for now. And then they realize that the first ring they're looking for is DBK's nose ring, which was pretty funny. Now, a very interesting thing happens, which I want to talk about at length. Red Sun puts his hand on May's shoulder, and a very creepy flash happens where it looks like we have fiery May. And I don't know what's up with that, but she looks at the camera all spooky-like and then lunges forward. And Red Sun freaks out because it's like they both saw whatever that vision was. But then they move along, The gang is trolling Red Sun a little bit, wanting a glass of warm milk, which he brings to them because he's a good host and he cares about his not friends because he's epic, best character. But they basically devise this heist plan to steal the ring by here's literally their plan. Run past all the traps, steal the ring, jump out the window, and hope that by then they've found an escape vehicle. That is the plan. And you know what? They do it, and it works out basically exactly like that.
Yep.
No hang-ups at all. And they speed away.
The hang up in the vent, but
yeah, well, when it counted, when push came to shove, I vented. I'm gonna get stuff. When push came to shove, he got it done. They drive away. Princess Iron Fan is like, wait, no. DBK's like, they've doomed us all. And Princess Iron Fan is like, perhaps. How'd they even sneak a race car? And it was great. And then at the very end, they reunite. That's basically it.
Good episode. Really good episode.
Yeah.
I love lore.
Lore is great. A little bit of lore.
I think that was my favorite episode of the bunch, definitely.
Hype. That's excellent.
Yeah. It was very it's got some great visuals in it. And I mean a lot of Monkey Kid episodes have great visuals in it, but especially from this point on, they get, just really good as you keep going. But it's this season as a whole is just, there's so much lore coming in, and it's really great.
Yeah.
Especially because for the first 2 seasons, it's a lot of not really having context for things, and just kind of, you hear about stuff and you go, okay, let's roll with that. But now this season, it's just one thing after another. We're learning about characters and different items within the world, and it's just it's great to get that.
Yeah. I agree completely. In a show like this, it can only be sustained so long by jokes, no matter how funny the jokes are. So I'm very glad that they are like dishing out the story deets, fleshing out this world some more, making the DBK family relevant.
Yeah.
It's nice, generally speaking.
The dynamic of the family confuses me sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
in season 1, they're like, they seem kind of like, kind of jerks to their son, and now they're just kind of like, yeah, we love our son. He's,
It definitely seemed like
it's
a
a bit
very
odd.
loveless family at the start.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's one of those things, if you like pushed me to criticize, I would probably be like, well, it's a flaw with the show, because they leaned very heavily early on into like these are, it's a common thing shows do. Like, we are corny, cheesy, we're gonna take over the world villains. And then when it came time to like humanize them, to keep them around when other villains were at the center, they just kind of act nicer.
Yeah.
I just,
it's very common across cartoons. Ninjago did it with Garmadon. It's not like a revolutionary concept.
I just think like having a nice house and watching his favorite TV show calm down the Demon Bull King a lot.
That was funny.
That was so funny. I loved that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like him in this role a lot better. It's just like, well, it's one of those things where if it was a 22-minute show, it would have been cool to see like more of that like shift. Because it does feel like you just pulled a switch one day and it was like, oh. Now you could say they're doing the logic of, we're evil and we own it, so like if we want to like help our son grow up to be a nice evil villain, we have to be like mean to him.
We have to send him to an evil kid boarding school.
I mean, yeah, unironically, similar ethos. Just like leaning into it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going for necessarily. But I loved it. What's the deal with May? I want to know. What's the deal with May?
I feel like this goes pretty hand in hand. I mean, pure speculation, and I do kind of base it off of what other people are theorizing in the comments for the videos. I do think, since it showed May specifically, she could do something with the fourth fire that was teased in the previous episode.
I also think the vision kind of looked like what's in one of the sets where May has like the 3 rings behind her.
Yeah, it did happen, didn't it?
Oh no. Spoilers, no.
Well, like, what relevance does she have to the Samadhi fire? Is it just because she's a dragon and dragons breathe fire?
Well, didn't the...
or is there like an actual lore?
The dragon was there in the flashback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was.
Right.
So it was one of the factions entrusted with it, I guess, or is it just
possible.
there to seal it away?
Yeah.
Like,
my understanding of like the 4th ring thing is that it might be like Red Sun himself, because like he still has some of his power, right?
I mean,
Yes.
It could be, and I would say that makes sense. But why would the flash forward or whatever have May? Like, what is their interaction gonna be that she's the one harnessing it and not him?
Yeah. I mean, he saw the vision too, so he might be involved in the whole thing as well. In a way.
Plot twist: they both saw themselves with the fire. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be pretty funny. I mean, it definitely reads as just like, prophecy coded, seeing the future. But like, I guess I'm just curious, like, what about is it just because she's like the chosen one to wield it, or is it something to do with her origins and her like lineage and her own ability to like do fire related things that makes her like the candidate to wield it? Like, could MK also wield it, I guess, is my question. I'm gonna say probably not. I'm curious to see what the deal is, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
There was this little scene at the end of the episode where Red Sun was like looking at May's dragon plushie, which could be kind of like a foreshadowing to the dragon thing being something important, I guess.
Highly likely, I'd say. Also, lots of good material for my my May X Red Sun shipping part this episode. It was great. We were eating good this time.
You mean the part where he was all nice and brought the milk and a blanket and they just beat him up for his fingerprints?
They're jerks. I'm telling you, they the other half of the team screwed over Scorpion Lady, and then they beat up Red Sun. Like
they just dine and dash and take a ring while you're at it.
They're like actual agents of chaos.
I feel like the show is now fully leaning into the whole like Red Sun only pretends to be mean, but he's actually like super nice part that I feel was in the beginning more of
just
a
wanted
fandom
attention.
thing. But now it's pretty much canon.
He just wanted to prove himself to his dad.
Red Sun is a monkey kid tsundere.
Yeah.
You went there.
I went there.
You went there.
Yeah.
AJ, did you like this episode?
I did. I very much like this episode. I like hearing your theories about the fire.
Oh yeah, because you like.
I know. Yeah.
You know. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. You've been cursed with knowledge.
Well, this isn't so fun anymore.
AJ, tell me now.
No.
All right, fine.
They'll find out in like a few days.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I can't really complain too much.
Yeah. I only have to say nothing for a few more days.
Silence.
What? Do you have any other comments, thoughts, opinions?
Rip May car.
Pretty, yeah.
Rip May car.
I like that it just catapulted MK like across the world until he landed at the other group.
That was pretty epic.
That set, was it supposed to be? I know we got a May set last wave. Was it supposed to be that, or is this like a different?
I think it was supposed to be the one from like the wave with the space shuttle. You know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
The White Dragon car thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it's meant to represent.
Yeah.
You know.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
That being the case, let's move on to the next one. Episode 7, Cooking with Chang'e.
Yeah.
She makes her debut, long awaited, and sadly, apparently only in one episode.
Yeah.
So it opens and the gang's linked back up and they're inspecting the ring and they're looking at the map and they're like, oh, we need to get to these places. And, you know, MK is insulting the artwork only to realize like, okay, yeah, it is pretty accurate after all. But like, where's this thing? How could it possibly be the moon? And then Pigsy's like, shut up, I'm watching TV. And he's watching like Chang'e's cooking show, broadcasting live from the moon, where she just cooks food, and it's great. And once again, like cartoon food, anime food always looks like exceedingly good. I got very hungry watching that special, because life is cooking and cooking is life. Even though I think I might be on that backwards. Either way, they just happen to notice, you know, while they're just watching TV, oh hey, it's the ring. It's just right there in like the main studio, just hanging around. Guess we gotta go get it. And then Tang does his like epic glasses pose, which I love to see. I like freak out every time he does it. And it's like, we need to go to space, but how are we gonna get to space? They're like, I guess you can just make a rocket, you know? Monkey King's like, just transform the car into a rocket. It's that easy. Activate master builder mode. MK's like, but I don't have powers anymore. And he's like, nah, bud, believe in yourself. Which, okay. I'll save it. It's like a minor critique I have. Basically, MK tries. He fails. He just makes the car smaller. And then also makes Sandy smaller, which I could not stop laughing. Like, that's the payoff. Minifig Sandy! Minifig Sandy! Anyway. Then Monkey King steps up. He does it like immediately. It's fine. He builds a rocket. You know, it works. It's fine. Even though he's like, yeah, I've never built one before. I don't even know how this works. What does this button do? Click. But there's before they do that, hilarious scene. They're deciding who gets to go. May and Tang are like crying because like they're like, I really wanted an adventure. It's really, really cool if I could go into space. I'm super sad. And MK is like, you know what? We will have fun. Okay, bye. And like I busted out laughing.
That was pretty good. I like that a lot.
Tears scene, chaos energy. They fly to the moon. They land on the moon. It's fine. Pixie's like freaking out about the vegetable garden. You have the epic rabbit robot basically walking along, patrolling. Monkey King's like freaking out about how cute it is, pulling like funny faces. And basically they go in stealth mode. They go into the cooking studio, and like MK is like, okay, now where could the ring possibly be? It's not like we just saw it on TV or anything and know exactly where it is. Let me rummage around in drawers instead. And he does it for like a solid like 20 seconds. I'm like, is this a joke? I guess it's a joke because like it's in frame, but like pretty sus decision. But whatever. They find the ring, they get the ring, alarm system activated, robot comes to like mess them up. They escape down the like the ventilation shaft, like the sewer pipe, whatever, and they basically go into the center of the moon, into like a factory, and they fight the robots. It's epic, and then MK like makes one small. He just makes one small. It's fine. Chang'e comes up. She's like, it's like she's epic. She comes up like she's about to like beat them up, and she's like, Sun Wukong and Monkey Kid, I'm such a big fan. Can I get your autograph? And she like starts taking pictures and like doing all sorts of stuff. And she's epic. And she's like, okay, yeah, but for real, give me back what you took from me. And he's like, oh, well, we're gonna get this ring back. We have to save the world beforehand, though. Then we'll give it back. She's like, oh, that? Yeah, you can have that. It's no big deal. It just showed up one day, and I've just been like waiting around for it to do something. You can have it. It's fine. But I do want my book back, though. It's like, oh, Pigsy stole like her book because I think like he put like a recipe that he had made in it, and that like touches her because like, oh, kindred spirits bonding over cooking. And they have this epic thing where they get mad at Monkey King because he says like it's just cooking, and they're like, just cooking. Cooking is life. And she's like, please stay for a while. MK's like, no, we have a plot to get back to. And Pixie's like, no, we can stay. It's fine. We as audience members just don't get to see it, which is a little sad. So they skip over it. They go back to Earth. It's fine. And then we get to watch a wholesome scene where she invited Pigsy onto her show, and they nerd out over food. And Pigsy looks very happy.
He looks very, very comfortable being on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the episode. What did we think of it?
I loved it. That's probably just because I'm a Chang'e fan in general.
Did it live up to your expectations?
I mean, I'm confused generally about the. So okay, Chang'e has a set, right? And
yep,
we know this is because she has one of the rings, right? But that just makes me question why in the opening she doesn't appear at all, and she's not.
It does seem like a weird choice for them to put in like the scorpion lady, but not her.
They really don't want to give away that they go to the moon for 6 minutes.
But I mean, I enjoyed the episode very much. Chang'e wasn't what I was expecting, I guess, but I still enjoyed the iteration of her, because I think it's just because I'm the only other version I've seen is the version in Over the Moon, like the movie.
Right.
And she's very different in that. But no, this was good. I enjoyed it. It's just a fun episode, and You know, it was still kind of plot relevant because of the ring and stuff. But
can we talk about like, because you had some thoughts about the whole like, are these the same versions of the characters thing?
Oh yeah,
because of like Pigsy.
Yeah, because that was one thing I was wondering about, because when the sets came out and I'd done more research into it, because I was wondering why Pigsy was part of the set. I'd read about how there was some like there was like a brief mention of Chang'e in Journey to the West, and it involved Pigsy. And so I thought, oh, maybe they'll address it in the episode at some point. Maybe she'll make even just like an offhanded remark about it, and she didn't say anything. So I don't. I don't
so it's
know.
pretty strange. Like in Journey to the West,
Yeah.
is the like so the original pig whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
Did like meet her.
Yes, it links to how he became a pig demon, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, which is why I'm confused.
It does seem quite unlikely that if this is a sequel, that she would have no reaction to meeting like another pig.
Unless she genuinely just did not.
I mean, maybe. You know,
I mean, maybe she
knows?
didn't.
It just stretches the boundaries of credulity a bit.
Yes. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's just a thought. Like, I thought they mentioned it and they didn't, and that's fine. It just, you know, it would have been nice if even just like a random comment is made. You know.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't
I
necessarily
agree.
like mean anything. Like, it doesn't have to be aimed towards Pigsy. It can just be something like, you know, you remind me of some of my nuance or something. You know, like. I don't know.
You look a lot like that pig fella a couple thousand years ago now.
From ages ago.
Generally speaking, I agree. I mean, what it tells me, insert like meso pessimistic mode, engaged. But like, what it tells me is they basically have no intention of like doing any kind of like thing besides a hint and a nod and a wink about like any of that Journey to the West stuff. So like, as much as speculation is fun, ultimately I feel that it's entirely pointless. I don't think it will ever get like followed up on. They're going to either imply reincarnation or alternate like universe or inherited will kind of vibe, like cycles of history, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter. I don't think they're ever going to give a concrete answer either way, and that's fine, I guess. I think I'll always be a little unhappy with it, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't really have any right to be because I haven't read Journey to the West, so it doesn't really matter.
I feel like if they're ever going to touch on like connecting with their ancestral origins or like who they once were, that's probably an idea that's pocketed for the end of the story. Like, there's no way you pull out something of as epic as that, like, before a show is even close to a close.
True. My brief critique is basically that I'm getting a little bit tired of MK being like, I can't do blank, and then Monkey King is like, just believe in yourself, bud. It'll all work out. I feel like that's all the interaction they have anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be charming. It used to be fun. But I'm getting a little over it.
It kind of goes
especially
to
this season.
I'm thinking of
like
episode 5 where he was like basically suggesting he should never teach someone, and Pigsy kind of agrees on that point. You know, like when his memory is jogged and he doesn't remember that he's been teaching MK to begin with. It sounds like he's not really fit for the role anyways, and I feel that really lends to this situation where he's not doing much other than like a few words of encouragement, although it doesn't help that they actually work out in the end. But yeah, I mean, I think it just has some basis, but it's a little too fortunate that things work out all the time.
Yeah.
For me, it's a bit. I mentioned this on the last episode. For me, part of the problem is that he's relearning powers he has already learned. So it feels a bit repetitive.
Yeah,
because we had the same learning curve before, basically.
I feel like they could be doing a lot more like other things, because if we're building towards a scenario in the future where, like, oh, they'll defeat the Lady Bone Demon, like, what, they will? No, it's like, I'm pretty sure they will. Pretty sure he'll just get all his powers back and it'll be great. Why couldn't they like have him learn new things and then get the old things back later, so it doesn't feel repetitive for the audience?
I don't know. I guess because like, they briefly mentioned in like the previous season that while Wukong was away, he had been learning everything and like practicing and stuff. I think my issue with it is that like it's going by like so quickly, because they had like a huge kind of a battle thing, right? And I really thought that the powers would get taken away and they'd just be gone for like a while, right? Like he'd have to come to kind of terms for longer about not having powers, but I feel like they're just kind of rushing through it again, and it's like I would have really have loved to seen him kind of be without powers for like a while longer, rather than them just kind of every episode just kind of bringing something back.
I think it would have done well for his character to do it that way.
Yeah.
I don't feel like his character's bad or anything. It's just that when I see everyone get these self-contained episodes, like even Tang, as we'll get to in a minute, gets one, and it's like, oh, they flesh them out a little by little each time. I feel like MK is the one that kind of like consistently lags behind a little bit, and I think it's the method in which he grows is the same.
It doesn't help that even in a previous episode this season, Pigsy was like, you're not defined by your powers, but then all they ever focus on with MK is him having powers. Like,
yeah,
if that's the case, then like show us MK when he's not wielding a giant staff and having all of these cool abilities.
It would be nice.
Help him find something outside of being the monkey kid, because he didn't always be that,
Yeah.
It'd be like
even in like episodes like Smarty Kid, where they leaned into that, where it's like, okay, I don't have my powers anymore, I'm gonna be the smart guy now. It ended with him just getting a power.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't think about it from that perspective. That's really funny. Yeah, I mean, it's not like show ruining. It's just I just kind of wanted to like bring it up.
Yeah.
It's been like in the back of my head for a while on this episode, like kind of sealed the deal.
I mean, it's a good point. I didn't even like to think about it until you mentioned it, and then now you've brought it up and like, oh yeah, they do it a lot.
Yeah. I can only hope that basically like the creative decision behind not focusing on it that much, and I also want to lump in the fact that I thought we were going to spend more time on the moon. Just whatever decisions that they have where they cut this kind of stuff short, I can only have faith that it's because they're saving, like they're really trying to just focus the story elsewhere on what's to come, and I hope that whatever's at the end is good.
There you go.
In lieu of that.
I want to read a comment from the YouTube chat. I'm probably gonna butcher your name. I apologize. It's a Sonk, and then TH, which is capitalized. Og. It's like Sonk Thog.
Sonk
It's probably Thonk the Hog, right? Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh. There you go. Yeah, you're probably right. Sonic the Hog. It says, yo, just got here. The show is great. MK isn't my pick for the ideal main character, and Sun W's kind of a bad teacher, but other than that, the show's good. Quick question, what does MK stand for, or do you not know yourselves?
Doesn't have a meaning.
Yeah,
it's just
not really.
They've like, intentionally obscured any time that they've shown his name.
Yeah.
It's
kind of a running joke.
Yeah, exactly.
But for what they... Sorry, go on.
No, even you can go. You always wonder.
No, I was just... It's because whenever we talk about his name, I'm always just wondering what they do in those like running joke segments in the English dub, what they do in the Chinese one. I'm always
question.
They call him like Little Monkey or something like that, right? I forget like the exact nickname for him. Obviously, he's not MK, but like both of them are some form of reference to like a diminutive form of Monkey King.
They have like actual like rather than them being called MK and May, it's like I'm gonna butcher their names so bad because it's like something like Xiao Zhao and Xiao Zhao? I don't know. But they're like they're
Yeah, but I mean, like, as far as I'm aware, I had a friend who speaks Chinese. Well, he's like
Right.
Malaysian, so I showed him that how like the Malaysian Monkey Kid advertisement that I always like to joke about, the my successor one. I was like, well, what? So what did he call Monkey Kid? He's like, I don't know. It was a Chinese name for him. I think that's supposed to be like something along the lines of like Little Monkey or something like that. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that's why he's called MKs, because they're both like some form of like just referring to like a short form of Monkey King without him being like exactly Monkey King.
Highly likely.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, right. So I really liked this episode. I liked Chang'e. She was great. I liked the moon. She was great. The moon was great. It was great. Everything was great. But I wish we'd I feel like I would have enjoyed more time here, or even like multiple episodes here.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like going to the moon is kind of a big deal. This isn't really for me so much a pacing issue, so much as it's less of the story could be better if you have more time, and it's more of you could better use your resources if you have more time. Going to the moon is like a huge deal that I feel like you could get a lot of mileage out of if you were able to go a bit slower.
Yeah.
And I feel like this whole subplot, like I only briefly touched on it in the last episode, it's very easy. This is probably the easiest fetch quest in like any franchise, and certainly in any Lego franchise. It's literally just been, we need a ring. Well, here's this ridiculous plan. Literally just wing it, the plan, and it just works. We need a ring. Just make a rocket. Just go to space and just take it. And when you get caught, the person's just like, oh yeah, I just wanted to like give that up anyway. It's fine. Like they could literally be sleepwalking through the fetch quest with how easy it is. And I don't know, I guess I would have liked for there to be some more roadblocks. But I think that's primarily just because I like the aesthetic and I like Chang'e, and I feel like her 1 minute of screen time wasn't really
yeah, I agree with the set discussion in the past. I thought it was definitely gonna be a bit more moon centric, which I mean in my head it's like, oh no, what am I saying, Lady Bone Demon's like taking over the earth, time to get away to the one place she's not at. And
that's exactly what I figured. That's an excellent way to put it. I felt like the stakes would have been much higher in that like AU.
Time to write the Monkey Kid fan fiction.
Let's go. All this is to say, I did not dislike the episode. I loved the episode, but my critiques are I would like more of it.
More.
Which, as far as criticisms go, isn't a bad one to have.
Yeah. What I really liked about this episode is that it was like, it reminded me how much I love that the Monkey King is now permanently on the team. Because
agree.
he was like, his energy is so good. He was just walking around without a spacesuit, like not caring about anything and just saying how cute the robots are.
Oh yeah, I really liked it when they shrunk the robot and then it was just going like, it twooda. Like it had like the little baby voice to it.
It twooda. It definitely helps him feel like more of an actual character when he's just like hanging around.
Yeah, no, his expressions were so good in this one too.
He went from being retired to like, being part of the cast.
Pretty interesting arc there.
Yeah. I like it though.
So we have 2 super chats I want to read.
Ooh.
Thank you very much to both of you for that. The first one is from the man, the myth, the legend, the artist formerly known as 26K down the drain. Always love to see you. He said $5, and he says, Monkey Kid is so cool. I loved it when he turned from a kid to a monkey and went monkey mode. Weird the villain was 20th U.S. President James A. Garfield. Oh, incredible. Thank you very much for that. And then Karo Kamina X just gave $2 and left no comment. But I say thank you, and Kamina is epic. Presuming that's
true.
The same Kamina, which it probably is.
I appreciate your dedication to being on every MonkieCast YouTube chat and always like putting
jacket as the 3 rings on the back of his coat. I wonder if he got his jacket from the city in the next episode. Good question, and also good detail. I forgot to mention that they did kind of like set up the Chonga show ahead of time, which
yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker for continuity. I vibe basically.
I'm a little worried. I'll need like people in the chat to confirm, but like the stream just hiccuped for a sec.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I think
it did on my end too, but I think it's all good
I
now.
think it's gonna still stay as part of the same podcast, but I'm not sure like where it cut off if it did.
It's still going live.
I mean, like it's still running. It's still running on the program too, but it like reset the time on how long it's been.
Oh,
so
weird.
I think it might cut at some point briefly, but then come back.
Okay. Well, hopefully it didn't cut out the super chats, but thank you for both. Basically,
yeah,
I appreciate. Does anyone have anything else to say about this one?
This was pretty.
There's also
Huh?
a comment by, I'm gonna butcher the name, Chera. And I think she or they have the Chinese names.
Oh,
and they said like it means little son.
Yeah, I'm not
probably the one for MK.
It could mean that. I'm not sure. I'll have to.
I'm not sure. They're on the Monkey Kid wikis, like the names.
Fair enough.
Guess we'll have to settle it
the
that way.
community knows them.
The community is scary.
We've gotten another super chat.
Yes. The artist formerly known as the artist formerly known as 26K down the drain. I thought it said formerly before. Lol. $5 said, I didn't like it when Monkey King turned to the camera and read out my address and social security number. Weird direction to take.
Just wait for the next episode. He's gonna sound out your IP address next.
The doxing. The doxing is here.
Better say positive stuff about it.
On your
yes,
credit card.
we can only shill. No critiques, head empty, only shilling now.
192.168.9.
No! All right. You guys down to move on? Any other comments?
Nope. I think I'm good.
All right. Chonga, main character, 2K22. That's my last comment.
Yes.
All right. Season 3, episode 8, Benched. So it starts off, and they're cruising along, and they're like, oh, we got to go to this city. A city of lanterns. Hey, it's the set. It's so epic. Monkey King is like, it hasn't changed a bit. And then he's like, all right, I guess it has. Because he's crammed onto, like, the subway, like the tram, looking like incredibly uncomfortable and crowded. And we get some cool establishing shots of the City of Lanterns with the soundtrack absolutely popping off. Monkey Kid soundtrack win. We will come back to that later. So they walk around, they see the pretty lights, they see the lanterns. They're looking for where the ring could possibly be. And it's like, oh, you know, maybe it's in the glowing giant thing at the center of the city. And like they're asking around about the festival that's going on, and the dude's like, yes, it's the Ring of Light festival. because we're celebrating the legend where, this place used to be barren and desolate, but Monkey King thrust the ring of light into the center of the earth, making the city all epic and stuff. And then Monkey King is like, yeah, I just kind of threw the ring, like, as far down as I could go,
He didn't expect it to be found.
Yeah, they pretty much like just dug it up and they stuck it in like the big glowing light thing.
Lantern.
Yeah, that. my brain went dumb mode.
The city of big light things.
I love the city of big light things. It's my favorite Lego set. So far in the episode, there's been like a subplot running where like Tang keeps wanting to help and like do things, and they keep being like, no. We don't really care. You suck, or like we're gonna say your idea before you, or I'm gonna burn like all my drawings I did of you and literally throw a scissor like into the middle of your freaking head. Basically just being excessively mean to Tang for no real reason other than haha funny. So they get this idea that as part of the festival, there's like a talent show going on, and they're like, if we win the talent show, we'll get the ring. But what kind of talents do we have? And Sandy outs that like Pigsy's a really good singer. So MK has the idea, let's make a band. Everyone gets their instruments. Sandy on bass, obviously. Obviously. And everybody gets their role except for Tang, who gets benched and has to be the band manager. And he's very sad about this. Everyone seemingly is just totally chill with like abandoning him. Haha, funny meme. Tang sucks. Haha. And then they reveal like, oh, Macaque is here. And he's being an edgy boy as always, like smirking in the shadows. But he has like a PTSD flare where he like hears the Lady Bone Demon basically going like, I'ma kill you. And he's like, well, I don't want to be killed. This is no good. So, he gets into position to do his thing. And we get the beginning of their epic performance. What was their band name? Monkey Kid and the Monkey Kids, wasn't it?
Amazing.
Like generally like the best band name ever. Instantly 10 out of 10. And we get like all of them begin to pop off on their respective instruments, and it's just a really cool like low-key beat, lo-fi Monkey Kid beats to chill and relax to. Need the album win. And then the best characters, they make their return. Jin and Yin, the gold and silver
Humans.
theater technicians. I remember what they did for a second. They're epic. Tang is depressed. He's standing in the back. He's like clenching the notepad like super tight. Like the Arthur meme. Like, we'll see who's benched now. And he goes off on a one-man mission accompanied by like epic music. To basically parkour across the city, swing, glide, do all sorts of acrobatics to literally break into the big light thing to steal the small ring thing. And when he gets there, who's waiting for him? Macaque. And he does a little bit of trolling as he does, putting down, like ruining the self-confidence. But Tang makes a grab for the ring anyway, gets kicked, and they engage in like a weirdly epic, like ideological battle, which was insanely cool. And between two, I think the least likely characters to have that like exchange ever, where like he's like Tang is like, listen, we need to stop the Lady Bone Demon. This is the only way to do it. You have a mutual investment in this. This is our last hope. We have to work together. And Macaque's like, that's cool and all, but like, I'm gonna need to just go. I just kind of want to get away. Your friends don't care about you. You suck. but don't take it personally. It's just Monkey King. You know, Wukong doesn't care about people. He only values you based on usefulness. I know a thing or two about that. You got to look out for number one. If you don't, no one will. And then Tang has like his friendship is the real power moment, but it's epic. He's like, even though my friends treat me like crap and they forget me and they throw scissors at my face and they kick me out of the band and they do all these mean things, I'm gonna be epic. I'm gonna do what needs to be done because I have epic anime glasses. And he goes into like attack mode dramatically with the wind blowing through his hair as Pigsy belts out the epic note, causing everyone to fly out of their seats. And we get an epic brief battle between Macaque and Tang as Tang seemingly activates some kind of latent ability and puts up a Kanohi Hao energy shield and causes him to like fling backwards. Jin and Yin are so moved by the performance, they basically just end it early. And Tang gets the ring from the big light thing, falls down right into the arms of Pigsy. And I'm a little unclear on this. Would they have won the ring anyway?
Probably.
It might
because I was expecting a thing where like, oh, they actually lost, and so Tang saved the day by getting the ring, but like they didn't actually do that.
What if it's similar to like the same back in season 1 with the Peach, you know?
Probably.
So they're just assuming that it'd be like that and be like, we wouldn't actually win the real ring, it would be like a trophy kind of
relic. Yeah, I mean that's highly likely. I doubt they would willingly give up like their epic relic.
I was waiting for him to take the ring, and then all of a sudden, like the city turns dark, but instead it got brighter.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't know.
Pretty sus. But then, the episode ends. She returns.
Yeah.
Lady Bone Demon shows up to do a little bit of trolling on Macaque, and it's like, hey, we're on episode 8. You're kind of sucking. You've only been in like 3 episodes. I'm going to kill you now. And Macaque is like, no, they have the Samadhi fire. We have to stop them. And she's like, all right. Well, if you want something done right, do it yourself. And she straight up like takes over his body, I think. Or maybe just like gives him her power.
You see like part of him is like all skeletal.
Like this is like the mutual cross section of like everyone's like interests. It's like epic, edgy, skeletal, Macaque, Bone Demon, final boss, like a hybrid mode. I'm ready. All of my yes. I'm excited. That was basically the episode. What did you guys think?
I think like if you just look at the premise of this episode, it's extremely similar to the Royal Blacksmiths in Ninjago. But with like they have to go to a talent show and the prize is actually an ancient relic they need for their fetch quest. But they handle it so differently. Like the actual talent show was more a side plot for a Tang story. So I think it was great.
Tang grappling with his inferiority complex.
Yeah.
I did think his attitude for the most of the episode was kind of off. I thought it was a weird development for him to start getting like so moody about it, but obviously it does have a basis. I just thought the way he was going about it seemed kind of weird, but in the end I really liked his resolve, how he like figured how he was going to fit into the group and why he wanted to be there and stuff. I really liked the message behind that. I thought that was pretty relatable. But yeah, I thought the first part to it was kind of off for him, but overall it was good.
Yeah, I think like
it was very good.
They did bench like Tang a bunch, but not like they played it up extra hard here, of course. So
yeah.
My problem continues to be when this show wants to be funny, it's absolutely hilarious. And when it wants to be heartfelt and serious, it knocks that out of the park too. It can do both incredibly well, but it has trouble blending the two. That's my like critique I've kind of like noticed. when you have what would otherwise just be like a really funny joke with like Tang being like overly like hated on, that's fine. It's hilarious. But then when you actually like tie it into an emotional like ending, I'm just like, but why though? Why did they treat him that bad?
Yeah.
You know, it's like they want me to like buy into the friend dynamic, and I'm like,
But I mean, like,
I don't
that's
know.
kind of the thing is, like, I think they're more oblivious to how they hurt him than they
Probably.
like.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, you're not like super special, but they don't think about how much of an impact that has on him.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I'm a bit worried that like Tang having some kind of power now kind of defeats like the message of this episode, especially like in what's to come.
Yeah,
Because,
once
like,
again, it
the
all comes
reason-
down to a power.
Yeah, and also like the reason Tang gets sidelines a lot is because he doesn't have any special powers like he used to. And now he gets a power and he's totally accepted. Shouldn't like the lesson be you don't need a power to be cool?
No, it's you're cool
But the opposite.
when you've come to figure out you're not special, you become special.
Yeah.
Like
little bit odd.
Like in Ninjago, if you just overcome your fear, you get an elemental dragon.
Agony. Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. I loved it.
Yeah.
If I had to say, this episode definitely felt the most like they had to work for the relic. But it still basically just amounted to just take it. The only reason there was any struggle is because Macaque was there. But that still counts.
I'm glad it kind of showed his intentions a little more clearly. Like, it's not just, I'm just trying to find the winning side. It's, I want to get this job done so I am not bound to her anymore.
Yeah, he's running scared. Absolutely sure. He's like actually terrified. Because I mean, who wouldn't be? She's like the most terrifying person. Like, I think I'm ready to like call Lady Bone Demon like the scariest person in all of Lego. Like the number one Lego boogeyman,
the biggest bad
boogie woman. Like she is the scariest person. Like I'd be freaking scared. So I relate. I guess I'm just with 2 episodes to go. I'm a tad concerned. I'm a mite worried because I feel like we have the Red Sun, May, Samadhi Fire, lore, the resolution, all that, a final confrontation with Macaque, hopefully some more like characterization for him instead of just they beat him, LOL. We need the revelation about like the 4th ring thing. Is Najah going to do anything else? It's yes. I don't want to. Okay, cool. Like fair enough. You're okay. I mean, that's good to know. That eliminates one of my critiques.
I won't say anything else. I feel bad about saying that now, but yeah.
No, I mean I'm glad to know. Like I don't have to harp on it as much. I'm glad because otherwise I'd be like kind of a pointless character. I guess I'm just kind of resigned now to the fact that Lady Bone Demon is not going to really be a big role on this season. She's pretty much going to stay in the background. I mean, as much as she can now that she's like giving Macaque some power. I wonder how far her reach can really go because she was able to straight up like black out that city. Like all the lights went out. Is that just because she actively went in pursuit of Macaque? Or could she just straight up like take out the entire, continent, Earth, if she like wanted to, and is just choosing not to? That I guess is kind of my question. I'm curious how powerful she actually is.
I don't know if it was ever said or if I'm just like if that's just my interpretation, but I think like she's growing more and more powerful over time. And her like reach is expanding maybe, but
yeah.
I mean that would
I don't know
sense.
if that's canon.
I could buy it. So, basically, moral of the story, a little nervous, 22 minutes. Please don't suck. That's all I got. But also, Gold and Silver Demons, always a treat. Also, PS. Tang versus Macaque, ideological battle, nihilism versus like hope, friendship versus self, selfishness. It was so epic. That was weirdly cool. I never would have thought those two would actually have a face off, but it was epic. Tang is my favorite character that isn't Lady Bone Demon. Don't at me. That is all.
It was also really cool that, like, with the Gold and Silver Demon, they also had that, like, female demon that was in the cooking show, the cooking contest episode.
I loved that.
That was good.
Any closing comments, friendos?
Not for this episode specifically, but you did get me thinking about, like, the course of this plot as a whole. So far, now that I think about how they've gotten the rings, this went from feeling very high stakes to going to feeling like really low stakes as they've gotten each one, because it's just seemed like really easy. I know it's probably for pacing reasons, and they've still been good episodes, but I feel like they're not really communicating how, like, important this is, that they need these rings to beat Lady Bone Demon, at least in the moments where they're trying to get the rings. It just doesn't feel like there's a sense of urgency to me in a lot of it. And so I'm wondering, I'll just wrap up real quick so you can say your piece, but like, I'm assuming the next episode is going to be figuring out how they all work together, the rings, and then the last episode would be, in my opinion, I think it's going to be that they failed to, like, properly use it, and then the finale would be the special after this, but I have no idea. That's just where I think this is going. Obviously, AJ knows everything already, but I'm just putting my theory out there. Okay, Sakota.
Yeah, but like what you said with, like, the fetch quest seeming very easy, it's, like, very weird if you look back at, like, the teaser for this season, which was like, we have to go on a journey to the west, but the journey is pretty much just like all easy. We get all the rings. It's super easy now. We got them. It's kind of like weird, like not what I expected.
Yeah, I think this season's opened up really strong with the vibe, and I think the vibe's just kind of weakened over the course of it, but they've all still been good episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it, because like in normal Lego fetch, like I'm thinking of the normal fetch quest style methodology, which admittedly we don't have a lot of nowadays anymore. It's kind of been like dialed back in other themes. But like usually it's not that getting the items themselves are too high stakes. Using the Ninjago example and how it felt a lot like Royal Blacksmiths, a lot of those episodes were basically just, let's do this random thing, or this thing's in a random place. The villains are there. They try to stop them. It doesn't work. Whatever. Amusement. I think it was the amusement park, the talent competition. I forget the others. But they weren't exactly super high stakes, because the high stakes is supposed to be the villain they're getting the things to stop in this case. So it's not that I want getting each ring to be like an apocalyptic level event. I think it is just a runtime issue. Because I feel like in any other show with a longer runtime, I feel like Macaque would have minions, and I feel like the minions would be the ones kind of going ahead, and there'd be like named characters that would show up to like mess with them, kind of like Spider-Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
Very similar vibe, and that's missing here, because in the sets, Macaque does have minions. He has like evil monkey people. They just don't exist, or I guess they're meant to just be like apparitions of his shadows. So when you don't have that, you have, well, Macaque is just trailing them, and the episodes with Macaque trailing them are the best episodes, because that's when the stakes feel very high.
Yeah.
It's just this was the only one dealing with a ring that he was in.
Yeah, and like half of how he got beat was just like pure coincidence of Pigsy singing his heart out.
Okay, that was epic though. That gets a 12 out of 10. I have no critiques for that.
Beautiful singing.
Peak hype. So I don't know. The solution is tricky because if there's a few paths. If you put Macaque in every episode, people are just going to get burnt out of seeing Macaque. I'm sure that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then if you devote the time towards giving him minions, that takes away time you could be spending on other things. They only got away with it with the Spider Queen because the special came first. So they established them there. I don't know. Bit of an odd situation.
Yeah.
It's
I think I'm
balance.
fine with how it's going. So I don't think I would, like, with the runtime they have, I think it's pretty much the best they can do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How can a 10-minute episode kids show not get this right? Are you freaking kidding me? No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on this, AJ, before we wrap up?
Well, it's difficult because a lot of the discussion is now on like what's coming next, and
your capability is limited.
I can't really say. I can't give my thoughts because that just gives away everything. So
just rewind to your past self before you do the ending.
I'm trying to think of what I can say without.
You can be the star of the show next time if you can't figure it
out.
out.
Be talking non-stop.
That's good. I look forward to it.
But I mean, I enjoyed this episode overall, but hearing you guys like talk about it, because obviously I've had like a few months to like
process
ruminate on the season, yeah, and now rewatching it, like I definitely get like the points and stuff. I think it's definitely just like a time issue. And you know, this show, it's always setting up for the next thing rather than like it focuses on some stuff within the season, but it's also all thinking about the future stuff, because that is going to be more after this.
This is true.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I won't say what, but yeah.
I get you. All right.
So,
that being the case, I want to read a few comments. We got another super chat from Karo coming to X. I wonder if the show is going to acknowledge the girl Lady Bone Demon is possessing. I hope so. It'd be pretty like morbid if she just like died at the end. I'm sure when they purge the spirit from her, she'll be fine.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And she's going to remember all the guilt of things she's done as Lady Bone Demon.
I mean, in any other show with a longer runtime, that could make for a pretty compelling like character arc for somebody to join the main cast.
What have I done?
But I doubt we'll get into that too much.
Probably not.
He also says, can we talk about how schnasty Sandy's bass guitar skills are, though? And how he's probably on bass because he's the only one with fingers in the group. That is exactly probably what they were getting at with that, which I just now clued in on. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, and he's the deep voice guy. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so epic. That's basically all I got. Yeah, I think that's it. Are you excited for the epic conclusion next time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing all your thoughts in spoilerific detail.
Yes.
AJ.
Oh my god. So many months.
So many months.
I can't wait to talk about it. It's been fun to like listen to you guys theorize, but also it's like killing me because I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil it for you guys.
Clearly, this is a lesson for yourself to not watch the subs in the future. No, I'm kidding.
I will continue to do that, but I don't know. It's like I said, I don't want to like spoil it because when I was watching, I enjoyed it so much just watching it unfold, and that's why I haven't been saying anything, even if people have been like, you can talk about it. I'd be like, no, just want people to watch it and see it for themselves. So I'm very excited for the next 2 episodes on Saturday night. I'm very excited
Cool.
to like watch them.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
That being the case,
Yes.
I'll do the closing plugs.
All right.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate the super chats today. They help support this channel, message boards, the things we do. If you'd like to get consistent updates on new videos as they happen, please go check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/TTV channel, and consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel. For as low as $1 a month, you can join our Discord, see all sorts of behind-the-scenes shenaniganery, and participate in epic chats about your favorite LEGO themes, and a lot more. We have like gaming chats too and stuff. It's pretty fun. And then if you want to continue the discussion on our channel, LEGO, anything of the sort, go to board.ttvchannel.com. TTV message boards, fun talks happen over there. And we will probably see you guys roughly the same time next week, I think. Probably, hopefully, maybe, sort of. We'll see. For the epic finale to Monkey Kid Season 3. AJ, take us away with the close.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining this week. We'll hopefully be back next week for the last 2 episodes.
Woo!
And just general, season discussion. But until then, I'm AJ.
I'm Meso.
I'm Envy.
And I'm Sakota.
And this has been MonkieCast. Thank you for joining. See you again soon. Have a lovely rest of your day or night.
Monkey!
Or time zone.
Monkey!
See ya.
Monkey!